The domain name system, what it is and what it does. So what is DNS? DNS is a domain name system. It converts a domain name such as google.co.uk into an IP address. This then allows it to be viewed on a web browser such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer or Firefox. DNS is used all day, every day, all across the world, 24/7. It is vital to browsing the web. So what would happen if there was no DNS, or if DNS servers were to fail? Each internet service provider such as Virgin or BT has their own DNS server. One of my past experiences has been where my ISP's server has failed and it could not find the website that I requested. I entered a domain name such as blogger.com and this error message is what appeared. The DNS lookup failed. It didn't know where to look for the IP address that is linked with this domain name. The domain name system was introduced in September 1981 and ever since it has grown bigger and bigger. It currently holds over 100 million domain names and it can search up more than 24,000 queries per second with ease. There are three main components to the domain name system. These are the domain name space, domain name resolution and the domain name server. The domain name space is a tree-like structure. It starts at the top with a root domain and is followed by several top-level domains such as .com, .gov, .co.uk. Domain name resolution. Each computer has its own little built-in resolver. The resolver resolves the domain name. It basically converts the domain name into an IP address and it gathers information from its own domain name space or other name servers. Domain name server. It is a database full of all the data that is stored. Domain name servers have a built-in agent mechanism, knows where to look if a server cannot find it within its own domain. Limitations and legislation. There are many limitations to DNS, one of which is no two domain names can have the same name. For example, you cannot have two domains that are called google.com. You can have one that's called Google1 or Google2 or Google.net, but not Google.com. Another limitation is Dns Cache Poisoning. Dns Cache Poisoning is when data is cached from a database that is not from an authenticated source. This means you could retrieve a faulty IP address and could lead you to a dummy website. They could then record all your details and use them for themselves. The use of IP version 4 instead of IP version 6. IP version 4 has limited amount of space to the amount of domain names that can be stored. IP version 6, 2 to the power 128, would be an incredible amount of domain names. It has an unimaginable amount of space and you can store an unlimited amount. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.